Hi, this is Shari Palmatier, Coach Shari. In this video, I'm going to review with you what I did to conquer Lyme disease. What you're not going to hear is the list of pills I took, supplements I took, because whatever was given to me was based on my symptoms of my illness, and yours is likely different. If you'd like a written summary of what content is in this video, you can go to my website, www.coachshari.com, and print it out from the blog page, and also feel free to subscribe to that blog. I'm hoping that what I review will help you to be healthy. It's something that we can all use for any illness, I think. So here we go. I'm going to group how I conquered Lyme disease into 3 categories: spiritual, physical, and emotional. We're going to start with the spiritual. And the first part of that is vision. All miracles begin with the vision. And even before I received the blessing of the diagnosis, and for months I didn't know what was wrong with me, I spent a lot of time visualizing myself as a healthy person. Literally, in the morning, first thing I did when I woke up was to just feel what it felt like to be healthy without pain. And the last thing I did before going to sleep was to get into that vision again of a healthy person, because I was convinced and I knew I would get through the illness, and I did, and I have. So the vision is critical. And the next thing for me was faith. I was sick. I knew I was sick. Even though I couldn't find a doctor to tell me what was wrong with me, I also knew I was going to get better. In my soul, I knew it, and I had faith every day that there was a reason why I was going to be sick, even though I couldn't see it at that time. And you usually can't see what purpose is while you're going through such a crisis, such an illness. But I did have faith that I would come out ahead, and that there was a reason for all of it. And by the way, my reason is just this: to share with you and to be hopefully your health coach and help you get through and become your illness and become healthy. And lastly on the spiritual list is gratitude. When the going gets tough, go into gratitude. And that's what I did. I spent every waking moment that I could just being thankful. I really wanted to focus my energy on positive healing. So I was thankful for my pills, and there were so many of them, and what they could do for me. And I was thankful for the comfortable bed I slept in, or the comfortable couch I napped in. And I was grateful for the people around me, like my wonderful husband, who loved me and cared for me and supported me. And I was thankful for the different people who helped me. Even if I didn't get a diagnosis, I learned something from everyone. You know, it's so easy when you're sick to just roll up in a ball and sleep for the day. And it's really easy to wallow in your illness. I just don't think it gets you to the positive place you need to be. Your body needs to heal, and the more positive you are in giving it healing messages, and the more grateful you are, the better outcome it is that you have. And again, that's a practice that I did every day, all throughout the day, even thanking God for, bringing me to the doctor who's going to find out what's wrong with me. I did this along with my vision. So when I woke up, I would be in my vision of being healthy. I would stay in that vision, and I would go through my gratitude list. Hey, after all, I was breathing. I was alive, and I knew I would live to see a healthy day and a healthy life. And at the end of the day, I would also go through my gratitude list of whatever I went through that day. Hey, maybe I was able to walk to the garbage room and back that day when I couldn't the day before. Whatever it was, I made sure to end the day with my gratitude list. Moving on to the physical, how I conquered Lyme disease physically. I think that for sure it was validated for me that no one knows or cares about my body more than I do. And so as I got sicker and sicker, and I went from doctor to doctor, who would say I was stressed out? I wasn't. Who said it was menopause? Nope, not that either. Or, I don't know what's wrong, but you don't fit my practice. I knew there was something really wrong. My body was telling me there was something wrong, and I just had to keep on going till I found the right doctor who could get me to the answer. Anytime, and this is true today, anytime I go to a doctor and the doctor suggests what I do, I then decide if it's right or wrong. I don't take anyone and anyone's advice as being the final word. I have to validate it with my body. The key difference for me in my wellness was nutrition, without a doubt. Before I got my Lyme disease diagnosis, I did have a consultation with a doctor who felt very strongly that I had systemic candidiasis, in other words, systemic yeast. This was validated. I went to a nutritionist who ordered some blood work, and it was in fact validated. I had all of the symptoms. By the way, many of those symptoms are Lyme symptoms as well. The fact of the matter is, stripping down my diet, and how it started with was simply eating chicken and broccoli for a while. Within 10 days of cleaning up my diet in a very strict manner, I went from having debilitating fatigue to waking up. I went from 0 to 70% in those 10 days. I knew I had something. So the nutrition is a key factor. What's disappointing to me is that many doctors, even post-Lyme disease diagnosis, don't talk about nutrition with their patients. So if you do have Lyme disease and you are not on, call it the Lyme diet, but there are specifics and general principles where you just want to remove inflammatory foods from your body. Nutrition is key. Of course, I am a nutrition consultant and nutrition coach. I can help you with that. But for me, it was the aha moment. It was the first time in my life actually where food was not directly correlated with weight management, because I've been working on weight management my whole life. So whatever I ate was fine as long as I fit into my clothes. And when I didn't fit into my clothes, I had to change what I ate. But in this experience of Lyme disease with systemic candidiasis, it was the first time I learned that what I feed my body makes a difference with how I feel. So nutrition is key. The other piece of this technically is that your digestive system really manages all of the nutrition in your body. And so if something isn't, and feeds the cells, so if your cells are working overtime to create immunity or trying to fight disease, chances are your digestive system is going to reflect that, because you're then not able to digest foods properly. So digestion in any illness it's very important to look at what you are eating, to make sure you're feeding your body properly to support your system so that you can feel well. I will also say, before I knew this was going on, I was sick and I had debilitating fatigue. I didn't know what was causing it. So I said, who cares what I eat? I might as well have the cakes. I might as well have a glass of wine or two. What the heck? I'm already sick. Well, guess what? Once I learned the importance of nutrition, and once I changed what I ate because all I wanted was to feel better, it made the difference. And I'll also share with you why I became a health coach, nutrition coach, is because of this. It's because I knew I would get through this, there would be a purpose, and it took me 5 years to make sure I was 100% well before I could look you in the eyes and say, I can help you do this. I can help you manage whatever you're going through in a way that's comfortable for you. So back to physical and how I conquered Lyme disease and Babesia. Research. With any waking moment, I was trying to learn more. I knew I had to eat differently, so I ordered books, I read. I didn't have a lot of waking moments, but those moments I had, I spent learning. I wanted to do the best thing for myself that I could. And when I couldn't, I asked my friends to help me research. Another critical point with Lyme disease is exercise. You need to, as part of detoxing, you need to breathe heavily. You need to sweat. And sometimes the most I could do was, I lived in a condo, the most I could do on some days was walk from the couch to the garbage room. And that was okay if that was the most I could do. But as my nutrition improved and I awakened, I went back to my personal trainer to make sure I was working out. I couldn't have done it on my own, and I didn't do it on my own, and I would go out and walk for as far as I could. It is really important that you move. Moving and exercise is important for Lyme disease. You want to get it out of your body. If you can't, and not everybody physically is well enough to move, massage helps. Massage with essential oils, because it gets your bodies circulating. And you need the circulation, you need your muscles to move if you can't do it yourself. Use massage. I did get massages also, and it was really helpful with the essential oils. Okay, we're still on physical. Doctors. I don't really want to go through the specifics of all the different doctors that I've used. However, when it comes to Lyme disease, you want a Lyme literate doctor. And not easy to find. I'm not going to go through the political issues with the disease, but you need to do your research, usually through, Google. I stumbled upon my first doctor through my first diagnosis of systemic candidiasis. My primary care wasn't really familiar with it, and I felt like I needed somebody to help me. So I searched in my local area for a doctor who knew systemic candidiasis. And as it turns out, when I met her, I had already typed out all of the symptoms I had, all of the doctors I had. I brought all my lab work with me, and I handed it to her. And she said, I know what's going on here. Pretty sure you have Lyme disease and Babesia. And let's just say I call her Dr. Angel. Because after 5 months and 7 doctors, I had finally found somebody who could help me. And indeed she did. And indeed she did. She will always be my Dr. Angel. And unfortunately, a number of months after my diagnosis, she had a period where she was out of practice and developing her own. And so I did find another doctor. But the point of doctors, and the last doctor that I had this year, which is 2018, is a naturopath. And with herbs, we got rid of the remaining whatever was left. But the bottom line message that I'd like to share with you is that you do need a tick-borne illness specialist. Except If you have Lyme disease, what I call the easy Lyme disease, you're blessed with the bullseye rash. You get to the doctor right away and you have 10 days of doxycycline. That's great. I'm talking about people where you're sick and you don't know you're sick or why, and it turns out to be Lyme disease. You really do need people who understand the illness. Next on the physical, well, it takes a village. This is not an easy disease. This is not a one-stop shop. It is not cookie cutter, especially today when there are so many co-infections and things to look at that over the period of my illness of 5 years, I treated it, I treated it like a business. I compiled a team, and as people performed or didn't perform, I made it changes, or as I changed. And my team was, I had a medical doctor, I had a nutritionist, I had a personal trainer, I had at times chiropractic, massage therapist. There were different people at different times. I threw a lot of my retirement savings into it because I just wanted to get better, and as much knowledge as I gained along the way, I invested as much as I could. So, make sure, you may have gotten a negative blood report from your primary care physician. That doesn't mean you don't have it. There's a test by IGeneX, IGENEX, which is still, I believe, the standard best test available today for Lyme disease and its co-infections. Make sure you find a doctor who has access to this test. Anyway, I'm skipping. So in the fact that it takes the village, I want to share another story with you. For me, Lyme disease was lonely. And I'll tell you more of that under the emotional section. And I mentioned this one day to Dr. Angel, and she said, hey, do you want to talk to a therapist? And I thought to myself, and I said, no, I don't. I don't want to talk to a therapist because what are they going to know about my illness? Now that I know about health coaching, and in fact I am one, I wish I had a health coach. The health coach would have supported me in the most positive way to make changes as I was ready, and to be encouraging and to have someone to talk to, not about the symptoms, because who wants to live in that, but about the light at the end of the tunnel, and to help me organize all of these pills. There were just so many. I did it myself. I'm a highly organized person. It is one of my core competencies, but it would have been great to have a health coach to help me out. The final thing under the physical that I want to share with you is help. It is okay to ask for help. I know, because I'm a very independent person. I have managed my career. I have done everything for myself. And even though, of course, I was married in a loving relationship, it was very difficult for me to literally be able to do nothing. And in fact, there was a time where I could not put a sentence together and I could not drive. And I had to lean on my husband and my closest friends to help me. So ask for help when you need it and don't feel bad about it. It actually gives the other person an opportunity to do a good deed. And many people, they do want to help you. They want to do whatever they can to help you to feel better. So don't be afraid to ask for help. The final section of how I conquered Lyme disease is emotional. For me, I believe the key to becoming well is to not fuel the fire. I did not want to be Lyme disease. I didn't want what I had. And I felt that if I spent every waking moment talking about how, to every friend or every relative, and talk about how bad I felt, what the pain was of the day, what the fatigue was of the day, If I felt that if I spent my days talking about it, I would become it. And the thing is, the universe does not know whether you want something or you don't want something that you talk about. If you talk about something, the universe thinks you like it and you want more of it. And I made a conscious decision that I was not going to talk about this illness. And so what I did was I sent an email to my friends and family and said, listen, I'm sick. I don't know what it is, but I can't talk. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be talking to anyone for quite a while. And I would keep them posted along the way of what I found out. But didn't want to be Lyme disease. To support me emotionally, I did start to journal. Originally, I thought I would be writing a book. And it really did help me have purpose in the day to say, oh, I'm writing a book. Let me write down how I feel today, what I learned today, what's going on today. I don't plan on publishing that book, again, because I don't want to spend my days talking about Lyme disease and recanting it. I want to spend my days helping people to feel well, and that's very different. But the journaling did help me. Dr. Angel advised me not to read the blogs, the Lyme disease blogs. I'm going to share that with you because it did help. There's a lot of negative energy around Lyme disease. I only wanted to read about people who got through Lyme disease, and that's hard to find. There's a lot out there about people who have debilitating illness from Lyme disease. They've had it for years. Again, I recommend to you, don't live in the negative. Find positive. Give yourself good, positive inputs, messages. That leads me to my final emotional how I conquered Lyme disease. And that is, I kept positive messages flowing in. And shout out to Joel Osteen. If you don't know Joel Osteen, he's on Sirius XM channel 128, and you can Google him. He's written wonderful books, and I get an email from him every single day with an encouraging, inspiring message. But I spent time with Joel. He's changed my life over the years, and he really is very uplifting in times of illness. He's uplifting every day, but just to share with you what I did, Joel made a big difference for me. Keep positive messages flowing wherever you get them, whatever your source is, as long as you feel that it's positive, healing encouragement. So in summary, in this video, I covered for you how I conquered Lyme disease through spiritual, physical, and emotional stuff. I hope this was helpful for you. There will be more videos to come on my experience, which I hope will be encouraging to you. Again, I am a health and wellness coach. I'm happy to help you. www.coachshari.com. You can subscribe to my blog, get this content in writing. You can contact me. I wish you great health. I hope you have a wonderful outcome, that you come out of your illness better than the way you started.